Hey Shackers, welcome back to This Week in Switch 2, the podcast about the new Nintendo system. This is episode 8. I'm your host, Asif Khan, and I actually introduced myself within the first few minutes of this episode, so that's a win. I'm joined by Donovan Erskine, our news editor, David Craddock, our long reads editor.
Hello.
And senior editor, and a guy who went to the Warp Tour this weekend, Ozzy Mejia.
I went very briefly, but I did go to the Warp Tour, and I forgot how intense that whole scene is.
Ozzy, you were there while Ice-T and Body Count performed. I thought that was pretty cool. And
that was awesome.
They did an Ozzy Osbourne tribute at the end. They played.
Man, don't get me started on Ozzy. That just makes me sad.
Ozzy's now the coolest Ozzy on the planet, but he is upset about it clearly. Because
fault.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was a great tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. I saw several bands at Warped Tour doing that. I saw Lady Gaga played War Pigs at her whatever festival or concert series she's playing at, so it's been cool to see that. But yeah, just in case you guys want to check out a Borderlands 4 break room or rage room,
Rage room.
It's a break room. You go in there and you just break anything you
just
want.
break stuff.
Yeah. We got a video up on social for that. But yeah, Ozzy's everywhere. You've seen him on our YouTube channel on assignment at various places. He's going to Evo this week. But yeah, I actually introduced everyone. So I think I'm finally figuring out how to host this show. But yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Do we still want to talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza here?
How far have you gotten, Asif?
I am in, I don't know what room of Ingot Isle, but it's very large. It's the first room with the spiky weeds, Donovan. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like, oh, these...
I think so. I was in it for maybe 300 seconds.
I'm like 2 weeks into this game, and I have progressed to this thing that Donovan got to in 30 minutes probably. Because I am still destroying everything in sight, and I find it very fun. And I'm playing a different game, I think, than most people are playing right now. And I'm not mad about it. But I said last week, I want to finish this story on Ingot Isle at least. And then when I get to the next level, maybe I'll play it like a regular civilian. But for now, my scientific experiment continues. So most people are probably ahead of me. I haven't even gotten Odd Rock yet. I think I'm in the room where you get Odd Rock.
Right.
But I haven't gone over to that place. I did notice that in that room, Donkey Kong can swim.
He can swim, yeah.
Donkey Kong can always swim. He can swim since 1994.
I know, but you hadn't really seen it. I hadn't seen it in the game yet. And I know that there's some levels where if you fall in the water, you don't, you know what I mean? It's historically water in Donkey Kong. Sometimes it's a fail condition. Sometimes he just swims, right? Sometimes he's riding a dolphin. But yeah, it's
they use water a lot in this game. There's you can buy clothes that make them swim faster. When you get the zebra bonanza, that one runs on top of water. So yeah, a lot of ways to interact with water.
The zebra bonanza is great. Just the
song
amount of times that it saved me in boss fights and in certain areas. The zebra bonanza is awesome.
Boss fights, you say? Okay, I got that to look
there are a few. There is a boss fight later where you will use the zebra bonanza to get you around, because the zebra bonanza, you can't slow down no matter what terrain you're on. And when one of the boss fights starts throwing mud at you or stuff to try and slow you down, just go zebra and just run fast.
That's cool. Yeah, maybe I hope to someday have a bonanza unlocked.
I just hope you get to the good stuff before something else comes along and you have to put the game down. This is my only concern, is that you look up and there's another thing to play.
My Switch 2 is literally a Donkey Kong machine. I have not played another game on it since the game came out. I fucking love that game. Obviously playing it a completely different way. But it is exactly how I reacted to Red Faction when I was playing that on PS2. I did not play Red Faction the way you were supposed to play it at all. We would just create a death match, and me and my friends would just destroy everything. And then we'd be like, oh, okay, we destroyed everything. Now let's kill each other.
I know what you mean about this being a Donkey Kong machine right now, because that's where I'm at. And I've had a really busy schedule over the last few weeks, but any spare time I've had, it's just been Donkey Kong. And I have other stuff to do. Like I got sent, and this is another thing that went on our YouTube channel. I got sent a collector's edition of Shadow Labyrinth, and I really want to get into that game, but no time, man. And this week's not going to help either because I'm off to Evo later this week. So
yeah. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches right now for gamers. Like, there's just a lot of really good games out there still. I haven't beat Doom the Dark Ages yet. I need to get back to that. I still haven't reviewed Mario Kart World. I need to stop playing Donkey Kong. So I'm
back even farther than that. I was jumping into Avowed before all this started.
True.
Oh, gosh.
And you know, my Blueprints playthrough has completely halted. Like, there's a lot of things where I was doing them before Switch 2 came out, and now I'm not. So, yeah, something's got to give here. But like I said, after this level, Donovan, I'll play like a regular human. It's just that there's so much gold. There's so much gold.
You can't have enough.
You know, I will say that to kind of
give it does respawn constantly, so there's also that.
Oh, that's true. The enemies respawn too, and that's one of my pet peeves about the game. But that's a whole other conversation.
I actually have a negative thing to say about this game. The camera, and I know it's a trope. I know a lot of people complain about cameras and 3D platformers, David, but the camera in this game is really fucking weird.
It's like N64 weird. Like I'm going through walls and into Donkey Kong's model. I thought we solved this shit years ago, but no, it's very prevalent here.
It is.
I dug into one of the layers, into one of the caves, and I'm just like, okay, where am I going? The camera doesn't know where I'm at. I was like,
And then it zooms in so close where DK disappears, right? But you don't know which way you're punching anymore. Like it's so disorienting where like you're still hitting the punch button and you're actually punching to the left of your screen because DK's slightly tilted that way, but you can't even freaking see him. It's just, it's weird that your focal point is not where you're actually aimed. And
it gets worse. I accidentally dove into poison water.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can climb out of here, but like the camera doesn't know where I'm at. So I'm just like taking damage from poison. And it's like, I wasted an apple juice for that. The apple juices are not cheap in this game.
I mean, you can just find apples by breaking shit.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, but apple juices are like the ones that save you when your heart's deplete. They'll like auto fill you back up.
Oh, it's like a fairy
one ready
Zelda.
To go.
Yeah.
Got it. That's like an extra life right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How much do they cost? Do I have enough to buy? How many could I buy?
1,000 gold for each apple juice. Oh, but you're gonna end up spending gold like once you start finding the getaway spaces.
What are
the getaway spaces get gradually more expensive as they go.
Do the outfits cost gold or banana chips?
They cost fossils.
Either.
And you're going to find fossils as you go, too.
Are there no fossils on Ingot Isle? Because I have not come across a single fossil.
Correct. Because there's no clothing store on Ingot Isle. But each layer uses its own fossils, which you use to buy clothes that are unique to that layer. But yeah, you can wear them anywhere, obviously. But yeah, you'll see it once you get to, I think, Lagoon Layer. And
I lost my pants.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
You could
the greatest out of context quote right there.
Well, you have those too. Again, once you get to your first shop, you when you get to a closet, you just equip them. Once you get to a like a getaway or something, you have them. They just
because honestly, in my head canon, that's why I'm destroying. I'm looking for my pants. Where the hell are my pants? I think this is a game about getting your pants. Anyway, my head canon, David, is more interesting than this story. I'll be honest with you. Like,
so I'm gonna point out that, like, and to give the viewers a little idea of a little behind the scenes at Shacknews, right before we went on, we were talking about ways to promote Shack maps and like our ongoing efforts to create maps for games of today and the past. But one of the games that we thought about doing and then we quickly said no to because it'd probably be impossible is this game.
Yes.
Can you imagine making a Shack map for Donkey Kong Bonanza? Like, it wouldn't work.
Like,
it would work, but it would take us years.
We'd have to build a completely new website again because Shack Maps is for top-down viewpoints or, you know, like flat maps. And this is very much like the Mario Odyssey map where, yes, you can look at it from the top down, but you won't see much. And you can look at it from the side, which you'll see some, but because it's a 3D map and shit randomly generates places, it would be really, really hard. You'd have to make an XYZ matrix map So first of all, we need 3D modeling, which, like, at this point, you have to recreate the 3D model of their map for each sub-level. And then, God help you figuring out how to place pins in 3D space. So yeah, we quickly decided not to do this map. It was similar to the Doom, the Dark Ages situation, David, where we looked at that map and we were like, no, not worth it. Which is unfortunate because previous Dooms would have lent pretty well to the platform. Maybe not 16 and Eternal, but Doom 2, maybe Doom 3. I can't remember
Doom
that.
64.
Doom 64. Quake. Those would all work.
We should totally do Quake, by the way, just because of who we are.
Yeah, it is something that, like, we get John Romero to work with us on it or something. But yeah, like, because we could get like some cool design doc kind of stuff, and hell, we could even go into Rocket Jump and look at some of that for inspiration. But yeah, we talked to all the map designers for Quake, so that would be an interesting one.
But yeah, Donkey Kong would be too much, man.
No,
like that.
No, it's really a tough one on that front, and also when a game has a good in-game map, we're not going to try to make it better. But if there is like a situation where you're going to want it on a second screen, I think that's where Shack Maps really shines. Like, we're working on a Tears of the Kingdom map right now and some other stuff, but our Mario Kart World map is progressing really nicely. So yeah, lots of stuff there. We now have the ability to log in. So if you want to log in with Google or Apple, you can keep track, like with a checklist, of the P-switches you've gotten or the Peach medallions. So that's like the latest feature that we have shipped, and it's all free. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, thank you for bringing up Shack Maps. But yeah, we do have one Nintendo game on there and one Nintendo game not on there. But yeah, back to Donkey Kong. So Donovan, you heard David's take from last week, right?
Mm-hmm. I did, yeah.
What do you have anything to say?
I figured Donovan could like set me straight, because Donovan has been through the whole game, and I want to make it clear, I don't like hate this game, but I don't like it very much just because I've seen the rave reviews, including yours, Donovan, and I think the ones that bug me the most are people like, this is the greatest platform of all time. I don't know that they've played many platformers, if that's their takeaway.
I even said, I think on this podcast, at the review embargo, the episode we recorded, that like I loved it, and people are going to compare it to Mario Odyssey, but it doesn't hit those highs for me. And a lot of people do think this game's better than Super Mario Odyssey. I never got there completely. But I do think it's great. I think a lot of my opinion, of course, is going to be colored by the fact that I wasn't like some huge DK person, so I don't go into it with a lot of like expectations for how it should feel or look. I just am in it for a new Nintendo 3D platformer, and I think a lot of my issues with it are early on, for what it's worth, right? I think that the game is ridiculously easy in the first few layers. The bosses, I think you can close your eyes and beat until you get to like the 4th or 5th level. But I think that once it really clicked for me is when it just kind of took off. Like once I had all the bonanzas unlocked, they kind of just opened the door when it came to like puzzle solving, platforming solving. Even Ozzy just now talking about how there was like a fight where you need the zebra to beat it. I know what fight he's talking about. I didn't use the zebra to beat that fight. I used like 2 other bonanzas. So I think that part of it, once you get further into the game, unlocks some more creativity.
So here's something I read over the weekend. It wasn't spoilery, but it does involve the ending, Donovan. And as someone who's beaten the game, I want to ask you about it specifically. Someone said that this is the most ambitious ending to a Nintendo platformer game ever. Like, it does things that no other Nintendo platformer has done. And they're specifically...
That's not a high bar, though, is it?
Like... I think the ending of Odyssey is wonderful. I think it's like... not the post-game, but that last level of Odyssey is really damn good. And before that New Donk City musical level, the first time you play through New Donk City, I think that might be one of the best Nintendo platforming moments ever. But I would also point to certain levels in Bowser's Fury as being excellent platforming. Donovan, do you feel that hype is accurate, that the ending of this game like sits alongside Odyssey in quality, or?
I'm always hesitant to jump into the hyperbole, but I do think the end of Donkey Kong Bonanza is amazing. It's my favorite part of the game, so much so that I've gone since it's come out. I've gone and watched like people react to it. I've watched like 2 or 3 like YouTubers and streamers just play the last like hour to hour and a half of the game because there are a bunch of moments in those last sections that I'm like, I wonder how people are going to react to this, and I've gone back and looked at them. Obviously, nothing in a platform has made me feel the way I did playing through the New Donk City Festival in Odyssey for the first time.
Yeah.
But I do think the end of that game is the best part of that game, and it is definitely one of my favorite sequences in any platformer in a long time.
Okay, so like I don't think David's wrong. I think like your early impressions, David, I think are spot on. It's just like that point that you made last week. 5 hours is a long time to get to the part of the game that you like. And I think that's a pacing issue, and that's probably why it didn't get a 10 here. Is that like it does start off slow and it's very easy. But yeah, like I'm not playing it with that in mind. So I'm enjoying the early part of the game because I'm really just messing around with the mechanics still. And
sure, yeah. And I think if you enjoy the destruction stuff, you'll still find a lot of fun early on. I think I had like an inkling in my brain that David would be like maybe a little bit cooler on it than the rest of us when he was asking about the destruction mechanics, because it is like that is the game. Like it is a destruction game, and you also like jump around and like fly through barrels and stuff. But it is like a voxel-based destruction game with Donkey Kong. I think more than anything, and the platforming stuff is fun. I think combat is fun, but if you're not in love with the destruction and like barreling into the ground and punching down walls, you're going to not love it.
I do like the variety of the challenge rooms, though. The challenge rooms that offer like it has the platforming challenges, the enemy challenges, and even the nostalgia challenges, which are a nice throwback to the original Donkey Kong Country in a lot of ways.
Yeah, his treehouse is in one of them.
I kind of like those rooms. Yeah,
I saw his treehouse was in one of them from DKC. I was like, I approve of this.
Yeah, they do the first level of DKC. They do one of the minecart levels, and I did a Sticker Brush Symphony from Donkey Kong Country 2, which is
that's
fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, so David, there's good stuff coming. But yeah, in the interim, I don't blame you for feeling the way you do, because it is exactly what it looks like. It's just a monkey destroying rocks. It's really just been me throwing rocks at other rocks. The thing that I've done more recently, I've gotten better at destroying shit. I have like a method now. You got to go top to bottom here. And basically I go layer by layer. I'll destroy some rock, grab the rock, and then start swinging it around, because Dom, you can take out more space with a rock.
Yeah, and it's also stronger. So sometimes if you've got like a harder material, you can get through it quicker with the.
Yeah, and it takes you a little while to upgrade your punch power so that you can take those out yourself. So sometimes you do need to just grab something.
It's great.
I just got taught how to punch up. I just went through the tutorial for punching up. And I spent 4 hours on the tutorial for how to punch. Oh my god, it's Bucky. But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it for what it is, but like I said, I'm playing it a completely different way. And
I maintain that I want to do a spoiler-themed episode of the show once enough people have seen the credits of that game.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a fun discussion.
Yeah, I think what we should do is
still. I think.
Yeah, I
just got to the resort island.
We'll have people talking about that, and what we'll do is be like at a certain point in the podcast, we'll be like, okay, if you don't want Donkey Kong spoilers, leave. If you do, we'll continue, and we'll have like a 30-minute discussion about it or something.
Sure.
I think there's a way to do that for sure. But at the pace I'm going, we'll be talking about this on Switch 3. But look,
we're on Switch 3, and also just got Odd Rock.
I finally got Pauline. Switch 3 is out. Metroid Prime 5 launch title. We still don't have a Metroid Prime 4 release date.
I think we'll still be waiting for Metroid 4 at this rate.
This is a question I was going to ask. With Metroid Prime 4, is this the last episode we record before we know the release date of Metroid Prime 4?
No. We got at least 2 more.
It's going to be a while, I think.
I think we got 2 more. I think we're getting a direct in August.
Okay.
We're getting a direct in August. I do want to point out, it's just some Nintendo housekeeping. Nintendo earnings are being reported on August 1st, and Nintendo loves to tell investors one thing, and then 3 days later announce a bunch of material news that would have changed their forecast. So it's very likely that we will get some kind of announcement in August after they give their guidance, right? Because they're known sandbaggers. So they're like, we don't know if we're going to release any other games. And then next week they announce a freaking Fire Emblem game. Watch. I do think that's going to happen, Donovan. Like, I think we're close to that. And
definitely sooner rather than later. Yeah.
And yes, the Direct, this game has to come out this year, right? So September, or is Pokemon, right?
So Pokemon's October.
Pokemon is October. Their next game is Dragon Drive, which is I mean, I'm sure it'll be
David,
fine.
You know, we were talking sorry, I'm glad you brought up Dragon Drive because it made me think of the April event. David, you said something last week that we haven't seen the first native Switch 2 game, and I just realized the vast amount of disrespect you just gave Welcome Tour.
Yeah, you're right.
Welcome Tour is the answer, David.
You're right.
Built for the Switch, by the Switch, by the guy who built the Switch 2. That is the game. It is the first party title. Hooray! Thank you, Nintendo. Praise Doug Bowser. Welcome Tour.
Yeah, that's true. And I have to say, it does show the mini games. You can play them at 120 FPS. You know what? By the end of the year, I'm probably going to be evangelizing Welcome Tour for Switch 2 mini games.
Look,
I like it more. It's like inverse to Donkey Kong kind of where for me, I like it more every time I talk about it.
I'm just saying.
We're in that year one phase where half of the games that come out are a tech demo.
Dragon Drive is definitely
just for Mario Party, Jamboree TV.
Yes.
And that's one of those games where it's the coaster mode is a tech demo for the mouse. The Bowser TV thing is a tech demo for the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera controls, the camera integration isn't great because it's supposed to read your movements. You're waggling with yourself at certain points, and it's no good.
That's a clip.
Waggle with yourself.
That's a clip.
You don't want to waggle with yourself.
Don't waggle yourself.
No.
Look,
there was a certain minigame where you're supposed to hit a block, but they want you to do it with yourself, and it's okay, I'm moving up and down, and it's just this isn't fun for me. I'm not enjoying this.
I'm very
tall. Me half the time.
I'm very tall, so the camera's gonna lose me in the shot too. Look, I had an opportunity to play that game in April. It's the one demo. I saw it, I watched it, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, you kids have fun over there. I'm gonna go play Cyberpunk or something.
The funniest thing is I think the best tech demo I've seen from Switch 2 hasn't even come from Nintendo. It's come from Square Enix. Bravely Default's mini games that they've added that use the mouse control. That's a better showcase of the Joy-Con than anything else that I've seen.
And
I think for Nintendo.
I think Dragon Drive is a fine tech demo kind of game. I just don't know many people who are used to using two mice at the same time. And I think that's gonna be weird for people.
I think from a curiosity standpoint, I'd be interested in trying it.
Mm-hmm.
That's classic Nintendo, though, right?
Yeah.
They take known technology and have you think about it in a new way.
Absolutely.
And I think I think as long as we're talking about other Switch 2 games and showcases for the system, this might be a good point for me to jump in about WWE 2K25. So my impressions, we're recording this on Monday, the 28th of July. My impressions are on the site now. And this game is really, really impressive. I noticed very little difference in most ways from the PS5 version. And if you want 8 players on screen, Aussie war games, a whole bunch of stuff going on in the background, 60 frames per second, steady. It's super impressive. The only flaw is the pinning mechanic. So when someone gets you in a pin, there's this meter that appears on screen, and you have to press a button to stop the bar in the green area. The problem is there's half a second to 1 second input lag. So you have to think about pressing the button before the bar gets into the green area. I was playing earlier in handheld mode. It's not as bad, but the problem is that as you take damage, the green area shrinks. And so it's harder and harder to stop the bar. Well, in this, I would get pinned one time I would get into a pinning predicament one time and lose because I could not stop the bar.
Maybe you got pinned on a vertical suplex.
Yeah, I got pinned on a freaking headbutt. Knockdown.
No.
Yeah, it was
from Samoan, though.
No, not a Samoan. So there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse. But I was talking about this briefly with Donovan, and imagine input lag in like NBA 2K. That's a game killer right there, right? Like that's what Donovan and I were talking about earlier.
Describing the same timing like a 3-point shot has in NBA.
Yeah,
it would completely ruin the game experience. And pinning someone's pretty important, or being pinned is pretty important in a wrestling game. That seems like something they gotta patch, David. Like I'm glad you brought it up.
I think it can be patched.
I'm glad you brought it up because I don't think it's input. I don't think it's like the Joy-Con problem. It's probably some sort of a software problem.
I played it in handheld mode. I played it with the Joy-Cons detached, and I played it with the Pro Controller. It's there in all of them.
Yeah.
But it's least visible in handheld mode, but it's still there, which means like this to me was like almost a dream game. Like, oh, finally a wrestling game on a handheld system that has parity with the PS5, which is not something not a sentence you think you'd ever say, at least in 2025 so far. But this fatal flaw, like once I'm done with it, I'm gonna uninstall it and just go back to PS5 because the pinning problem is a big one.
Mm-hmm. And I hope they haven't given you a calibration option. Like a calibration option seems like that would fix this really fast.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm curious, David. Do you notice the same issue when it comes to reversals? Like I know there's like the very short window when like an attack's coming up and you can press. I guess it'd be X maybe on the Joy-Con to like reverse a move. Do you have the same issue there or no?
No, I can counter as easily as I do on the PS5. Like I said, I think I mentioned in the impressions, there's only a couple times where the frame rate drops. One is during cinematic moves during finisher when the camera zooms in to show the move. And the other is something weird happens. It's either input lag or the frame rate on the meter itself, the pin meter itself drops. Those are the only times I notice the frame rate dropping and becoming a problem. But like countering is simple. And even in the chaos of like an 8-person match, I had no problem with it. It's just the pinning that I had, and it's a huge issue.
Yeah. That stinks. Hopefully they fix it and we'll have the opportunity to, play WWE in handheld. Because you're right. That to me is the value proposition. That's why when Madden comes out, I'm going to get it for Switch too.
Hell yeah. We're going to stream it.
Can't wait. We still haven't streamed college football.
We do. We still need to do that, yeah.
And I guess Bill Belichick's not in the game.
Nope.
Anyway, we'll get to college football someday. We did kind of move on from DK quickly. Ozzy, do you have anything else you want to say about DK?
Well, I've like I said, I'm on the resort layer now, and one thing that I have come to find that I really am happy I found was I found the constructed cone or whatever you call them that tells you what to do with the amiibo. And with the hang on, let me grab it over here.
Oh yeah.
With the Donkey Kong amiibo over here, you can unlock Pauline's Mario Odyssey outfit, and that's a really cool little thing to have. I forget what it does exactly, and I know it's one of those things that actually is kind of useful. Oh no, it gives you a double chance to find discs so that you can play more music in the getaways. So
Dimension. Sorry, I mean to cut you off, but I was disappointed that because you can scan the like bracelets from Super Nintendo World.
Really?
Yeah, as amiibo, and this is the one that you can only get at Universal Studios Orlando because they're the ones with the Donkey Kong Country. You have to.
Japan has it too.
Well, there you go, or Japan. But you can't get it in California, so East Coast.
Bummer.
I was like, this is probably going to be one of the more rare amiibo scans, and it just gives you like the Kong letters that blow up when you throw them.
That you can get from any amiibo.
Yeah.
So that's lame.
Which I was like, I was expecting to get like some like rare, cool item or whatnot. I was like, I don't know, this is like explosive disc. I was like, I can just get concrete for that. It was
on the one hand, that would have been awesome, but on the other hand, can you imagine how angry people would be if that was the case?
That's true. I guess that's true that people would have, if they locked something really cool behind it, people would have been frustrated.
While we're talking about amiibo, I just want to bring up what David, you'll remember we talked about just kind of briefly last week, but you know this playtest going on, guys, the one that doesn't have an NDA, but part of the TOS is that you won't share anything about it. You know what I'm talking about? The online Switch Online thing. What if it's Disney Infinity powered by Amiibo?
I wish.
Like, can you imagine a
Cool.
Nintendo connected world powered by Amiibo?
Apparently, you can get the Kong letters from the Donkey Kong Skylanders amiibo. Remember that thing?
What? Yes, I do. That's
I
insane.
didn't remember it until I saw it on Kit and Krista's Instagram.
They had an
I
awesome...
didn't even remember that thing existed.
Dude, that video was great. Krista's really fucking good at making videos. But, like, that one was, like, shot so well. It was, like, the evolution of Donkey Kong amiibo. I want a pixelated Donkey Kong amiibo. Like, the 8-bit one that Mario has.
That one, too.
That would be cool. But, yeah, like, yeah, I think that Amiibo are about to find new life on the Switch 2. Like, I don't think Amiibo are going anywhere. Because these are selling well. I will say the Hyrule Warriors, the Champions ones, I think it's from Tiers. I can get you any of them right now at Meijer. Other thing I've noticed is
all over the place.
Like, other thing I've noticed, it's not hard to find a Switch 2 camera. Those things are not selling that well. And the Pro Controller 2 is still available in a lot of stores. So some of these accessories are not flying off the shelves.
Well, the thing with
they're really expensive though. Like, I love the Pro Controller 2. It's one of my favorite controllers in a while, but it's $85. That's a steep asking price. Yeah.
I think it was the Digital Foundry review that pointed out that you can't really replace a battery on it, and that really soured me on it. And plus the fact that I've still got my Switch Pro Controller 1 that works perfectly fine on anything I play. The only thing it's missing is the game chat button, which is kind of annoying that I gotta walk right up to the console and turn on game chat. But how often do I do that?
You can do that through the menu.
Yeah, you can hit the home button and navigate to game chat. It just removes the one button press. Like, yeah, it's not the end of the world at all.
How good is your battery on your Pro Controller 1, because mine kind of sucks at this stage. You can replace that, can you?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of them holds a charge for like days at a time, and the other one feels like it's dying every other hour. So one of these is not like the other, and since they both look the same, I'm basically rolling the dice. But, yeah,
I did watch the iFixit breakdown of the Pro Controller 2, David, and it is offensive how hard it is to remove the battery and replace it. It's glued in. You got to remove like 12 screws, and obviously Nintendo loves to use proprietary screws. I think some of them are Phillips head, but like some of them aren't. It's going to be impossible for the average consumer to replace the battery in their Switch 2 Pro controller without breaking it. And then you're going to have to take it to someone who can repair it, and it's going to cost a lot to repair. It's a flawed product in that sense. But I still like it quite a bit.
Because here's my thing. Like, I don't think consumers, you're not supposed to be able to easily change the batteries. If you were, everything would run on AA's or whatever. Like, I think the DualSense controller is a nice controller, but the battery life sucks, and you can't just replace that. Like, unless you're a tinkerer, that's not something you're meant to do.
I guess there's like some EU regulation that was supposed to make batteries more accessible in products, and no one is actually doing it. like iPhones are still ridiculously hard to replace the battery on, and like could break the motherboard of the device if you do it. The Switch 2 Pro controller is this way. I'd say the Xbox out of the three is probably the most accessible battery, but yeah, it was supposed to be a consumer protection thing in Europe, is my understanding, David. And a lot of these companies, they're like, yes, technically you can remove it, and that's like good enough, I guess, in court. But it's kind of like, you know how they tried to force USB-C on everyone? They haven't actually succeeded on that front. It's kind of like that. Yeah. It was a consumer protection thing that I think these corporations are doing their best to not actually implement well.
Although I do appreciate that it's been implemented on iPads since then, because that makes everything way easier now.
Yeah. I like that there's 2 USBs on the Switch too, also. But like also something like we were talking about the webcam not selling well, because you can just use a regular webcam. Like, you don't need to buy it. So, like, everyone already has a webcam. So I understand why the Switch 2 webcam's not selling well. It's 1080p and it's $50.
I literally went to a friend's house this weekend because they bought the upgrade for Mario Party. She's a huge Mario Party fan. She was like, "Don't we need like the camera or something for that?" I was like, "I'm just gonna bring my webcam." I was like, You don't need to buy that." Yeah, I have a lot of friends that all bought Switch 2s, and not a single one of them was like, "I need the camera." So yeah, that doesn't shock me. Also, am I? What's the like battery life on the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller? Isn't this not like an issue that won't be a problem for many years? Like, I mean,
it won't be a problem for years.
Yeah, I don't have an
just...
issue with it, and like I said, it's been like I can go like 2 weeks of playing every night and not have to recharge my controller. And to your point earlier, David, about the DS, the DualSense, like I can't go a week without having to recharge that. And like I don't play my PS that often, but like I also got a Vitrix controller instead because I like offset analogs and some other stuff. But yeah, the DualSense I think is a step backwards from the DS4, which I think might.
And that wasn't great either in terms of battery life.
No, it really wasn't. But it was small.
I think it's
light.
better.
It was lighter.
Yeah.
So it was like I kind of was like, okay, well at least it's lighter. It fits in my hand better.
Right.
Like I actually like the DS4 when it comes to PlayStation controllers.
The DS5 will last you like maybe 2 days at most.
Yeah. Like I remember during Spider-Man, I had to like it was a lot of swapping out a controller and waiting and yeah.
And a black one and a purple one, and I have to keep swapping them out back and forth.
It's a good point though, Diamond. Like you're not gonna have to replace it that often. It's just that I don't know.
I'm like if it's 20 like 30, and I noticed that my like Switch 2 Pro controller battery is like starting to get weaker. Like at that point, I'm gonna I've gotten so much mileage out of the damn thing. I don't think I'd be upset that I bought it. But I don't know. Maybe that's what Nintendo wants me to think.
I did find it interesting that like I can just like I have a friend who lives in Japan. He had been trying to get a Pro Controller 2 in that country since launch. Can't find one. Meanwhile, there's like 10 at Meijer right now, David. Like they're just all sitting there. And a ton of those Zelda amiibo. So those are not moving either. But Nintendo did increase the price of all amiibo due to tariffs. So I think that has hurt demand. But like, I do think that amiibo is about to find a new life on Switch 2. Which is interesting because that is, I'd say, the most successful Toys to Life thing ever, as it's still around and it's made them a ton of money.
What would Amiibo integration on Metroid Prime 4 even look like?
That's a good question.
Suits, colors of outfits, or something.
Maybe
the fusion suit.
Maybe like skins for your weapons.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I was thinking something with weapons. Yeah. I feel like a game that I think they've dabbled with it, but they have not unlocked their full potential with Amiibo integration is Pokemon. I feel like that's is like a layup for the things you could do with Pokemon Amiibo. And I think the games have had functionality, but nothing that was like all that revolutionary.
And usually they only make them for their starters, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a ceiling on which Pokemon, but I don't know. I feel like you do something.
No, I'm saying, like fuck it. Yeah. Just bring the whole Pokedex over. Let's start making the random bong dude. Like make him a amiibo.
The Pokemon Company has been on a multi-year journey to make a plushie for every single Pokemon in the Pokedex, and they're like a considerable way through that. They're in like the 700 to 800, I think, at this point, and there's like 1,000 and some change. So why not? Why not do? At least,
like if you've ever been to a Pokemon Center, you see it. Yeah. Like they're everywhere, and there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least go through and do all the starters and like cover legendaries.
Our first million view video here at Shacknews on YouTube was a plushie demo. So like plushies are where it's at right now. It was a Tamagotchi 3-in-1, but plushies are great. People love Pokemon.
Speaking of
DJ Pikachu live in the mix. Oh my god, it was fucking amazing. Holy shit. I do not give a fuck about Pokemon Presents. Man, did I not care at all about anything they said. Anything. Holy crap, could I care less? It was 9 a.m, David, and I'm up capturing a freaking Pokemon thing, and I'm like, ugh, I hate this. But I turn it on 30 minutes beforehand, and it's DJ Pikachu. DJ Pikachu was better than Pokemon Presents. That's my first take here.
I actually won't argue with you on that.
I think DJ Pikachu was so cool that it like retroactively made people like the Pokemon Presents less. Because I remember seeing like replies on Twitter, people like, well, what was the DJ Pikachu thing all about? I thought we were getting like a rhythm game or some sort of announcement regarding this. But yeah, that was cool. All the remixes. The fact that they did Lavender Town,
Yes.
this disgraced Pokemon song, because it was like one of the old internet creepypastas. That I don't want to say because I don't know if we'll get like demonetized or something. But there were like, there were like weird internet theories around that song, and they kind of for a while stopped using it because it had this like negative connotation to it. But it's an iconic Pokemon tune, and they made it like a club
banger.
mix
Like
in this, yeah.
Like people were like, we need the longer version of it because I uploaded like a minute of it, and they're like, we need the long version. I'm like, fine, I uploaded the long version. And I'm like, here is the transition because it's into Silphco, and then back into Lavender Town. The transitions were outstanding. The build-ups were amazing. It was like a legit electronic music set from a superstar DJ. And like, I never want to see another fucking video game presentation countdown that isn't DJ Pikachu. Like, this should be the standard for video game countdowns. This, just run this again. Like, it was an hour long DJ set. But let me tell you, as someone who did not care about anything that they were announcing at 9, this is the only reason I made it to 9. Because I was like, this is delightful. It was like it was built for me. Because my favorite Pokemon is Pikachu, and I love electronic music. But yes, Donovan, this should be a fucking game. How is this not like, how do you not announce a rhythm game? Like,
it's because it's the Pokemon Company. And
they announced bring back Elite Beat Agents, but with this DJ. DJ Pikachu and Elite Beat Agents would print money.
I as somebody who very much was interested in what they were going to announce at 9 a.m., walked away from that Pokemon Presents with a few questions. One, why on God's green earth did we announce this showcase
why were you hyping it
in advance?
Why did they hype this?
They announced this thing 2 months in advance. They've never announced these things longer than 48 hours ahead of time, and then randomly at Switch 2 launch, they're like, in 2 months we're doing a Pokemon Presents. So everybody's like, oh, this is the big one. We're finally gonna get retro Pokemon games on like Switch 2. They're gonna announce like a remake of Black and White or something, and it just ended up being the same 20 minutes of Pokemon Unite update, Pokemon Go update, Pokemon Sleep update. We announced a new Pokemon mobile game. And then here's your like 4 minutes of news for the next game that's coming out. It was
got the Aardman, Wallace and Gromit
that was cool to see.
Pokemon. We got a first look at that.
Which, such a clever choice, because the region they're setting that in, the Galar region, that region is themed around England. It's supposed to be like England, but in the Pokemon world, which is a great fit for Aardman. So they're gonna
crush it. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. And then Concierge got a trailer as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many episodes will you get this season, Don? Last season was 4. That's the only thing that's my only complaint with Pokemon Concierge is it takes forever to make, and then when they drop a season, it's like, here's 4 episodes, kids.
4 episodes, and they're like 17 minutes long. Yeah. But it's great.
That's the age we live in. It's like you wait a year and a half for a Rick and Morty season, and you get 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 5 episodes. Season.
We did get a look at Pokemon ZA though, Don, and they gave us some gameplay.
Which significant because they announced for the first time in 10 or over 10 years a new Mega Pokemon, which is Mega Dragonite, the one that people have been requesting since X and Y came out, which introduced Megas. It was the great like sin of that game that Dragonite, the original, we call them pseudo legendaries, which is like you're not quite legendary, but you're much better than like every other normal Pokemon. Dragonite was like the only one who didn't have a Mega, right? We got like Mega Metagross, Mega Salamence, Mega Tyranitar, and Dragonite being a Gen 1 Pokemon was kind of left out. Finally got one. People hate the design, so you can't win them all, but at least
I like the design. The giant wings on the ears. It's fun.
I'm warming up to it. I think that I just don't like the model, but I saw like fan art of it. I'm like, I love the fan art, the way the people draw it. But yeah, it's got like the big wings on its ears. They gave it like
Never Ending
on its
Story
tail.
kind of thing.
It does have that vibe. And Dragonite's supposed to look goofy anyway, so it's fitting.
It did feel like this could have been an email. The Pokemon Presents, like
it did.
I was very.
We're in a 6th cycle as Pokemon fans where every time they do one of these, because it's not often, we don't get like multiple of these a year. It's usually Pokemon Day and that's it.
Sometimes
every year we're like, this is the big one.
Sometimes at Worlds you'll get some announcements.
Yeah,
but they're not. Yeah. It's not in a Pokemon Presents. It's like, here's a trailer before the Pokemon Unite finals. Here's a trailer after. Like, here's a Go trailer. Yeah, but they don't go crazy. This is usually the event where they do go crazy. Or Pokemon Day, to your point. But Pokemon Day wasn't even that hype this year.
No.
And it's just the dichotomy of this hype-ass DJ Pikachu set with this kind of wet fart of a presents was weird. But, like, I left happy. I was like, this was delightful. This is the best Pokemon event I've ever seen. And everyone's like, this sucked.
To kind of bring that full circle and tie it back into Donkey Kong, one thing I find really funny about Donkey Kong Bonanza's story is that you meet the different elders, the zebra elder, the ostrich elder, and all that. They all retire to become DJs. And it's like, that's not a retirement job. Why are you retiring to be a DJ?
Look, first of all, when I retire, I'm going all the way back to electronic music. Second of all, Shaquille O'Neal in his second life is a superstar DJ. DJ Diesel. Okay. And he's in his, how old is Shaq? Like 50s, 60s?
He's getting to be 60, I think.
God bless Shaq. But, like, he's a DJ. He DJ'd at the Indy 500, like in the inside of the racetrack. They had, like, a festival. DJ Diesel was there. So, yeah, you can be there's no age limit on being a DJ.
Especially on Donkey Kong Island.
Or species limit or size limit, because they're all very giant. But, what nightclub could fit one of the Kong elders? They're rather large.
Well, you'll find out if you stop breaking stuff and play the game.
No, I'm not going to do that. Who cares? I'm not going to do that. It does feel like people are like
your lore.
I'm like banana break thing. Yes, I'll continue, but I don't care about what the Kong elders have to say.
I do want to shout out because there was some stuff I liked about the Pokemon Presents. Legends ZA is bringing back full character customization. I don't know why we ever took a step back from this, because X and Y figured it out, Sword and Shield perfected it, and then in Scarlet and Violet, it's like, here are 4 different school uniforms you can wear, and that's it.
They really this game, we can go back to backwards with that game. Those two.
In a lot of ways, it's always a 1 step forward, 2 steps back with them. But in this one, the new trailer for ZA, we saw like full character customization from clothing, shoes, pants, shirt, hat. You can do earrings now, which I think is new for a Pokemon game. All that was cool to see. They've completely overhauled the battle system in that game. I don't think people are talking about it enough. Where it's like they have ditched turns. It's completely real time. It's seamless. There's no like cinematic or whatever when you get into a Pokemon battle. Moves don't have like it's called PP, which was like the amount of times you could use a move before it ran out. They got rid of that. It's like everything's on a cooldown now. Greg Burke better play the hell out of this game, because every time I talk to him about Pokemon, he says that they need to change the battle mechanics.
They addressed every one of his complaints, or a lot of them.
Yeah.
Which I think it looks pretty good. Do you think? Oh yeah, we should mention, like, there's a bundle. They announced a Pokemon ZA Switch 2 bundle.
Not during the Pokemon Presents. It was on the internet like 10 minutes later.
Sorry,
I don't know why they
the most interesting Pokemon news of the day was sent via email to us. like they could have done with the rest of it. You know what? If they just did a 2-hour DJ Pikachu set, it would have been great. I want this, like, okay, let's say we have an Animal Crossing Direct, because that's going to happen, right?
One day. Yeah.
30 minutes of KK Slider? Who's saying no?
Yeah.
Who's saying no to a 30-minute countdown that's just KK Slider kicking ass? Like, let's learn from this.
He's a rhythm game.
Let's learn from this, Nintendo. Let's actually not go backwards with regular countdowns. To think about it, though, Nintendo doesn't really do countdowns to Direct. It's just kind of like hold music and then it starts. Anyway, yeah, DJ Pikachu stole the show. Lavender Town, go listen to it on Shacknews YouTube, because it's like not on. People are like, this should be on Spotify. This should be on, like, people are asking for it on all these platforms. I'm like, well, here it is on YouTube, guys. Yeah, I don't know. They could have done it with Donkey Kong. They could have had the DK rap countdown.
Floodgates are open now.
All I'm saying is learn from these things, Nintendo. Learn from these things, Pokemon Company.
Yeah, they definitely will.
I don't know. But honestly, like, you'll never hear me talk more about a Pokemon event than DJ Pikachu's set.
Mm-hmm.
Although, like, yeah, I think ZA looks good.
Look, next Pokemon Day, which is February 27th, will be the 30th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise. It'll be the day Red and Green came out in Japan in 1996. If there was ever a time to have a big blowout announcement showcase, it would be your 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
Next year.
Agreed.
Oddly enough, we share our anniversary with the Pokemon Company. Same year.
Yep.
And that'll be our 30th, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Same year.
Yeah, 96. Yeah.
Donovan, are we ever going to get those games on Game Boy app?
I honestly, the cynical part of my brain says no. Because I feel like if they wanted to, they would have done it by now. I think at best they'll let us buy them again. Maybe they might put them in the store like they did on the 3DS where they were like $10. But I just think they want to remake them all. I think that the Pokemon Company's like, no, don't put like Black and White on there. We're going to remake Black and White,
Because I think they want to make it so that you can somehow take your Pokemon to Pokemon Home or something. They want to add that kind of integration to it. Where like whatever you catch in the old games, you can keep them. And I think that's one of the sticking points.
Mm-hmm. That would be the dream. My cynical side says they just want you to play the remakes, right? They don't want you to they give you Red and Blue on Switch Online because they can just sell you Let's Go, Eevee, and Pikachu, which are essentially the third Red and Blue remakes,
Do you think we get more Let's Go?
I want a Let's Go Gold and Silver already. Like, I don't know what's taking so long on that.
They like money.
I feel like the time for it is kind of past. It felt like because Let's Go is 2018.
Yeah.
And it just feels like they would have done it by now, sort of thing. They'll do another Johto game. I don't know if it'll be a Let's Go thing. Mm-hmm. They could do a Legends there.
It just seems for a company that loves to make money, they seem to be sitting on a giant pile of money that they can make.
If Nintendo announces the DS is like the next Nintendo Switch Online Classics and Pokemon's nowhere to be found, it's never happening. It just won't happen.
Yeah.
That is funny to me that Gen 2 seems to be the one that they're not doing. We've done Gen 1 again. We did Gen 3 with on the 3DS. We got Gen 4. We're doing Gen 5, but we still haven't done Gen 2.
Well, I mean, the issue is that they remade Gen 2, but it was so long ago. It was Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I'd say for my money.
Right. Oh my god, that was
the DS, yeah. The OG is like 2010 maybe those games came out, which I would bet pound for pound are the best like Pokemon games. You just want to talk mainline
that's why people are excited for it.
Yeah, Gyms Elite 4. You put those on Switch Online, I mean, I'd be like a kid in a candy shop, which is why they won't do it, because it would bring too much happiness to people. But maybe
that's
one
the
day.
beaten down Pokemon fan I know. Man, that sucks.
I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Be happy that Scarlet and Violet are running decently on Switch.
But that's great. But between Pokemon Company not wanting to give me those old Pokemon games and Square Enix being stingy with those Dragon Quest games, I can't be happy.
So I want to talk about Nintendo Switch Online stuff that was kind of surprising last week. I was kind of right. I said that the day after our podcast goes live, Nintendo will announce something. Well, they did. They brought 26 different games to Nintendo Switch Online, the Nintendo Music app. These are some of the games. We got Donkey Kong Jr., Mahjong, the original Mario Bros, not the Super Mario Bros, baseball, Donkey Kong Jr. Math, tennis, just tennis, pinball, just pinball, Wild Gunman, Duck Hunt, golf, which is one of the most minimal soundtracks you will ever see. It's like 4 songs and none of them are over 5 seconds. Hogan's Alley, Donkey Kong 3, Devil World, F1 Race, Urban Champion, Clue Clue Land, which actually has a pretty solid soundtrack, Excite Bike, Balloon Fight, which has one of the best 8-bit songs maybe ever, Ice Climber, Soccer, Wrecking Crew, Stack Up, Gyromite.
Ooh.
We got a Gyromite soundtrack on Nintendo Music. Highly recommend it to people who have no idea what Gyromite is. Go listen to that. David, do you remember Mock Rider?
Vaguely, not as well as I remember Gyromite. I actually had Gyromite, and I didn't have Rob. That's a whole other story.
The whole other story.
Yeah.
Mach Rider was a motorcycle racing game, and I think them including this is literally them thumbing their nose at Steve Tominski's Rad Racer agenda. How do they leave Rad Racer off of this? And then Gomoku Narabe Renju, some Japanese game, also made the cut. We give them a lot of shit about their drip drop. This was like a floodgate of music. Very pleased by it. Now, it is really funny listening to some of these because they're extremely short. Like, some of them are like 4 seconds. Some of them are 2 seconds. Golf didn't really have a whole lot going on. But, yeah, like the Donkey Kong stuff is great. I think they dropped those so people could hear the references in Bonanza. So I like that they're doing stuff like this. I'd like to see them do more stuff like this. Like, you know, I don't think Nintendo music was out when Tears dropped, but like it would have been cool for them to be like, here's Zelda music from NES to whatever, you know, like they should use this more to promote their games than they do. Yeah. But I like that they dropped all these NES ones, and it's just cool because yes, you can find them on YouTube, but it's hard to find them isolated without game noise. So it's, yeah, I think that's the cool thing that these drops offer. But yeah, it's Donkey Kong Jr. Math, man, had some good music in it. The calculating song and some other stuff.
I lied before, Asif. I care about one nugget of Donkey Kong lore, and it is this. What the hell happened to Donkey Kong Jr.? Where did he go? Because Donkey Kong Jr. means that this is the son of Donkey Kong, okay? And the Donkey Kong in DK Country and DK Bonanza is the grandson of the original Donkey Kong, aka Cranky Kong. So what happened to Donkey Kong Jr.? Where is he? I leave you with that.
I honestly, it's one of life's greatest mysteries. Donovan, since you've beaten Donkey Kong Bonanza,
watch he ends up being Void Kong or something.
Here was my other shower thought. Donovan, does Donkey Kong Bonanza address the Great Kong Army?
No, it does not. It does not. But there are parts of that. Yeah, no, it doesn't. But there are parts of that game that acknowledge Donkey Kong lore that I wasn't expecting it to. But not the Great Kong Army, I won't say.
That's disappointing. Can you imagine, the final battle is like, I don't want to spoil Tears of the Kingdom. It's like the end of Tears of the Kingdom, and it's like Donkey Kong leading everyone to war. That'd be cool.
Oh, gosh.
No. It's not that. That's not how it ends.
Maybe they'll save that one.
It's not like a Braveheart moment for Donkey Kong or anything.
Battle of the Bastards.
They may take our bananas, but they'll never take our freedom. Yeah, that would have been great.
It'll be
Doug Bowser, are you listening? Movie. I'm just giving you gold right now.
Donkey Kong movie. Seth Rogen. That'll be where you get it.
No, God, no.
You're not excited for Seth Rogen to get the lead role in the spinoff?
No. I think it's the worst thing about the Mario movie is that Seth Rogen is in it. Everyone was like, oh no, I hate Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario. I'll take Chris Pratt all day.
I didn't even notice Chris Pratt after a while.
Fine. He was fine. He wasn't great. He was fine.
You notice Seth Rogen, though. He's very distinct.
It's that laugh. Ugh. Insufferable. That they let that go into the movie. They're like, yeah, Seth Rogen laugh. No. Bad Nintendo. Anyway. Yeah, I wanted to shout out the that list of Switch on Nintendo music that dropped. And I wanted to introduce a new segment here. Even though we don't actually have any segments, I'm introducing a segment here. It's called Games That Should Be on Switch 2. Like now, we do a yearly award, Game That Should Be on Switch. I'm pretty sure we're just going to do Game That Should Be on Switch 2 at the end of the year. But I played a game for review. I haven't written the review yet, but it'll go live sometime this week. Maybe before this episode goes live. Maybe after. We'll see. It's called Star Racer. It's made by Whatnot Games, and it is a mashup of Donovan had to head out. It's a mashup of Star Fox and F-Zero into a racing game. So it is a combo, like, David, you transition from like racing on the ground into flying, and then it's like space. It's like space combat. You can barrel roll, you can shoot at your opponents. The amount of ammo you have is attached to pickups on the ground. They're like these capsules that you pick up, so you only have a certain amount of bullets or lasers to fire while you're in the air. And then those capsules also power your spin attack move. So it's like, it looks optically, like graphically and art direction wise, like a 16-bit game, but it has the trappings of F-Zero X. So it's like 3D levels, right? Elevation change, but also banks. And now these sweet jumps that you can go off of, and then you start flying. While you're flying, there are these like tubes in the air that kind of remind me of those tube levels in F-Zero X. So it's like, but you're flying within it, and there's like rings that you go through that are boosts. It's really cool. Like the, in the original Star Fox, or even in 64, you could do like down on the C button, Ozzy, and it would do the loop-de-loop. You can do that in this. You can barrel roll. You can dodge lasers by barrel rolling. You can boost while you're in the air. While you're in the air, your energy depletes. So if you stay in the air too long, you can die. But it also means that you can fly over the track instead of landing if you choose. So it's like, there's some really interesting optionality there. And yeah, like I just said, Star Fox and F-Zero as like the two inspirations for this game. So yes, it should be on Switch too. It's great. A lot of like customization. So like you can get different colors for your vehicles. Like a lot of the stuff that was in F-Zero X is present here. It's got a very large roster that you can unlock. It's got a great soundtrack that you unlock by playing it. Difficulty options, up to 4-player split screen support, which is cool. It even has a track editor. I wouldn't say that was my favorite part of it, but like, it's cool that it's there. Got a lot of replay value in that it's got 4 difficulty settings, and it gets very hard. Don't have a whole lot of negative things to say about it. The only thing I'd say is like, it doesn't feel like an F-Zero game. Like the grippiness of the F-Zero vehicles is not present in this. You're kind of sliding a lot more. But outside of that, I thought they introduced some cool stuff. Like when you come out of a drift turn, if you let go of the accelerator, it gives you like a short-term boost. So I thought that was kind of neat. Obviously, the transition from flying down to racing and back up to flying is unique and cool. I thought the levels were actually well designed. It's cool. It's out. I think it's going to be out now or soon. I think based on when this podcast drops. But yeah, Star Racer. It should be on Switch too. And also Doom: The Dark Ages.
Man, I mean, we got Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal for Switch. It just makes sense to put Doom: The Dark Ages on Switch too, especially because, like we've seen, as I go back to WWE 2K25 and how impressively it runs, I think Switch 2 could handle Doom: The Dark Ages.
Absolutely.
Really,
especially with id Software being so good at scaling id Tech engine. And the thing already runs on Series S, and everyone says
it doesn't even have to be id. We can get the folks at Panic Button to do it because we know how good they are at this sort of thing.
Exactly, or hell, Iron Galaxy just did it with Tony Hawk. Like there's some great port houses out there that can still do it. Yeah, you're right, because Panic Button did do the Doom 2016 port. They did the Rocket League port. And yeah, Iron Galaxy did I think it was Diablo 2, that port.
Iron Galaxy, I think, also did Skyrim on Switch.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's some capable port houses out there, and I think id Software is just they have the most scalable engine, I think, still. It's something that they pride themselves on. When it comes to single-player first-person shooters. But yeah, this is going to be a bully pulpit for us once a week to be like, hey, where the hell's Doom: The Dark Ages? Because, like, yes, I wanted to talk about Star Racer today, and, like, yeah, it's on Steam, so if you have a Steam Deck or Steam, like, go check it out over there. It's not too expensive, and like, support some cool indie devs. But man, it would be great. I think it would find a great home on Switch 2 with all the fandoms that they're kind of pulling inspiration from. I think people would check it out on that platform. But yeah, I don't know. Do we have much else? Anything else we want to talk about Switch 2 wise?
This is a content-packed episode. I think
we went fast too.
I'm ready to go play some more Donkey Kong.
That too, man. I don't know. Like, I was told that no one wants to watch me stream my 100% destruction run, and I disagree. I think people enjoyed it.
I think you should do it for science.
I did. I still am. And that's why, like, look, I can do it. I can do it in the comfort of my home for science, or I can do it online for science, whatever they want me to do. But yeah, we are giving away a Switch 2, where if you donate $5 to the Trans Lifeline, you're entered into a giveaway that we're gonna pull the winner this week. So $5 to enter a giveaway that you could win a Switch 2. Seems like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how few people have donated. So yeah, like, you have a pretty good chance of winning. So I would just highly recommend that you use the Tiltify link in the description of this podcast to donate. And it's limited to US residents, because who knows how much it would cost to ship a Switch to some other country right now. I don't even know how to calculate what it would cost. Maybe I need to go brush up on DK Jr. math, even though he doesn't even exist. That's going to become one of those Mandela effect things. Right? Like, everyone's talking about how the Berenstein Bears never existed. They were the Berenstain Bears the whole time. No?
Yes, I'm familiar.
Did you see that? You saw the Sinbad thing I tweeted, right, David? Where, like,
yeah,
people thought that there was a movie called Shazam with Sinbad. Nope.
That one I don't get.
That one never happened.
People got that.
It was Shaq, and it was called Kazam, and it was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
It was the height of Shaq Fu. But yeah, yeah. I wonder if DK Jr. is going to join them in this shadow realm.
He can also be a DJ.
Yeah, DK Jr. should be a DJ. Dude,
I'm just saying.
That would break the internet. It's if, like, there's a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct and DJ Donkey Kong Jr. shows up, and there's a whole room of Donkey Kong family members dancing. Look, I'm just saying, Nintendo, you got something right. Learn from it. Don't just be like, we're never going to do this again. Like, honestly, like, how many countdowns have we seen for freaking live streams?
So many.
100? 200? I have never dedicated 30 minutes of a podcast to a countdown other than this. But yeah, it's great. And also, like, make it a game. Yeah. But yeah, I guess this is a shorter episode this week. Maybe if I progress past level 1 in Donkey Kong, I'll have more to talk about. I don't know.
Look, I know I got to get through more of Donkey Kong and move on to the rest of the stuff. And I will say this, that we got the last early access update for Hades 2 last week. So Hades 2 coming to Switch 2 is imminent.
Okay.
So I got to hurry this up and make sure I have space for that. So
I still need to go back to Mario Kart World.
That's right.
And Doom. Yeah. And Doom.
I know.
Awesome. Yeah.
How?
Right. Just rip and tear through these games until it's done, and then play Doom.
I was on such a good track too, David. I was like, every night I was doing a chapter, and then Switch 2 came out, and I was like, it wasn't like I threw them in the trash or anything. It wasn't a Toy Story situation, but it's close. It's just,
I get it.
I really do like the Switch 2 though.
Like, I do too.
Like we're over a month in. It's really good. Like, it's the software experience has been great. Third parties outside of my Tony Hawk experience, like, and Tony Hawk's running better now. They got a day one patch for that game. Yeah, I think things are going pretty well for them. We're gonna get some Nintendo news this week. We're gonna actually hear unit sales for the month of June. We will know how many copies of Mario Kart World they sold, how many units of the Switch 2 they sold, how many copies of Welcome Tour they sold. Right?
Yeah, that's a game they're selling for real money.
Ozzy, I agree, but I love Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
It is. I'm
it.
telling you, first Switch 2 first party title by Nintendo. It was staring at us in the face last week. So we're gonna find out how well that thing sold. I'm guessing poorly, but and what do you think? Over under on 1 million units sold for that?
Under. I'll say under. I'll say under.
And then just for fun, how many units of Switch 2 do you think were sold globally in June?
In June?
Yeah.
Well, that's when it came out, right?
Yes.
So over.
No, I'm saying how many?
Oh, how many?
Yeah. I'll pick a number. 7 million or more. 7 million or less. That's the line.
I want to go between 5 and 10 million. That's what I was thinking. 7 sounds about the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go high. I'll say 12.
12 million? Whoa.
Right.
Man, I doubt it. They're expecting to sell 15 million this whole fiscal year. But that was when they were sandbagging their guidance before the please understand from Furukawa and all that stuff. So, you know what I mean? Like, who knows what the real number is? Like, I think they have capacity of 20 million Switch 2s for this fiscal year. And we know, Ozzy, that they sold 3.5 million in the first, 4 days. So we do know that. We know that it sold over 1 million in Japan. And we know that it sold over 1.5 million in America. These are like little data points we're getting from other retail analysts and stuff, though. I'm also interested in the split between the bundle and the console, like by itself. I do think that the Pokemon one's going to be interesting because Pokemon's $70 by itself, ZA, but if you buy it with the bundle, it's $50. So I like that they're doing this, especially with flagship games, David, like Kart and Pokemon. Like they're rewarding early adopters with this stuff. So it's and the problem I have, Ozzy, is like you might be right with the being closer to 10, but we're not going to hear anything about how they did in July on this
Yeah,
order.
all right.
So like that's where I'm like, I think 7 is kind of where I'm guessing it's going to be. Any more than 7, I'll be impressed, because it's hard to make things. It's hard to ramp production on things. It's especially hard in the middle of a trade war, like a global trade war. So we'll have to keep our eye on that. They did, Japan and the United States did announce a trade deal where it's 15% tariffs. It's actually now more expensive for American car companies to make cars in America or sell cars in America than it is for Japanese companies to sell cars in America. So that seems to be going well. I'm sure it won't have more unintended stupid consequences like that. But yeah, Nintendo had to navigate the tariff environment is my point. So maybe we'll hear the effects of that, and maybe that led to them rushing inventory to America, Ozzy, to your point, and then they may hit higher as a result. I haven't seen a Switch 2 like at a store in the wild yet. I was able to. Nintendo hit me up for my Nintendo store. Remember where you registered your interest? Remember that?
Yeah.
My interest registration came through, and I did get the opportunity to buy another Switch 2. So it seems like inventory is a little more available than at launch. Like we had that early adopter wave. Everyone has their Switch 2s now. A lot of people are playing their older games. Other people are playing Donkey Kong. People are still playing Kart. But it does feel like we're in a lull, right, before the holiday push. And knowing Nintendo, they are ramping production for holiday. They're trying to get as many over here as fast as possible. And it's selling very well in Japan. It's selling better than any console in the history of that country. So
what's going to be the big holiday title for them? It's not going to be Pokemon because that's in October, but like, is Metroid Prime ready for? Yeah, I was going to say, is Metroid Prime ready for December?
Metroid and Silk Song. I'm saying it now. Metroid and Silk Song.
We did find out that Silk Song is going to be playable at Gamescom, so
yeah. Metroid can't carry a system, guys. It's not that franchise.
I think Mario Kart can. People will buy for Mario Kart and then they'll pick up. I think the core audience is looking for Metroid.
Oh, I think there's definitely an audience who probably isn't even interested in Switch 2 right now that will buy it for Metroid. I have no doubt of that. Mario Odyssey Switch 2 edition is going to be this holiday's game. I don't know. I'm staring at the September because like Mario's turning 40. Like you got to do something.
Yeah.
Something has to happen. And then like the other thing, Ozzy, is like usually around Christmas we get like a special edition Switch, not just a bundle, right? Like when are we going to get our first special edition Switch? Because that could be...
Yeah, I mean, that probably would have been an easier question to answer before we had a trade war.
That too. Maybe it's harder to make multiple SKUs right now, so they're just going to not do that. But like this Pokemon bundle, it would have sold better if it was like a special edition Pokemon Switch. Right?
I think they'll have more of the Mario Kart bundle ready for Black Friday.
That would make sense too. Yeah, so Mario Kart's still going to be the one carrying the day. That's the one that's carrying the system right now. Hard carrying the system. When I like social media still, I see cool Mario Kart clips every day. Like still. Yeah. And we were talking about
I can't wait to make more of them.
Yeah. And but like not just you, like, you know, UNLV, you know, Bear, that dude's a wizard at the game, Ozzy. And like the clips that he's posting are hilarious.
Right now I'm just posting clips of the Bonanza getaways where like Pauline won't go to sleep. Like she keeps talking Donkey Kong's ear off as she drifts off to bed. It's a random anecdote.
Oh, you're talking about
eating
Donkey
on the
Kong.
bed.
Yeah.
You're gonna find this stuff and it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, you're talking about Donkey Kong. I was talking about Kart. But yeah, both of them are all over social right now. So like Nintendo, I think are pretty happy with this launch, but we will actually get financial information from them. I'm really curious, like, are they going to change their forecast? Because demand is way higher than they thought it was. So did they increase supply? How do they feel about the logistics of getting the product into the people's hands? Are they seeing a little bit of weakness in demand? Probably not. But, like, they seem a little insecure about, yeah, like, okay, the early adopters bought it, but how do we reach that broader demographic that the Switch 1 reached, right? And, like, I don't know if there's... I think Donkey Kong's part of that. I think Kart's part of that. But, yeah, I'm curious, like, you know, we didn't get that press release about Donkey Kong sells XYZ games in X days, right? Like, we didn't get that. So, did it not sell that well? We won't know for months, but, yeah, we'll know at least where Kart sits. And I think the attach rate of Mario Kart World is going to be the story of this generation. It's going to be like 4 out of 5 Switch 2s bought Kart World.
That's what I mean. Like, that's the system seller. Like I don't think Donkey Kong, my opinion of Bonanza aside, that IP cannot carry a system either. I think it goes great in conjunction with Kart.
Yeah.
But Kart is the system seller from now until Switch 3. Period.
Yeah. Until a new Mario 3D game comes out, I think that can move systems. A Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
A Zelda. Like, if they came out with Ocarina of Time 4K remake, that would move systems. But, like, that's it, though. Like, there's not... That's why I'm, like, going back to your point about Metroid, like, it's going to sell well. I bet it sells, like, about 3 million units this year. But it's not, like... It's not Kart. It's not Donkey Kong, even.
No, but I still think if we're looking for a holiday title, a first-party one, I think it's still Metroid, unless they drop some surprise and it's coming out in 2 months sort of announcement. I think it's Metroid Prime 4 for the holidays.
Yeah,
because Kart is evergreen, right? Like people are going to want that at all times.
I'm holding out hope that it's Super Mario Maker 3, that we get that announcement, and it would be awesome. It drops this fall, and they do some
with
sort
mouse
of
controls.
Yeah, and they drop some sort of Mario-themed Switch 2, like a red one or something. Like, they just... Mario's too big to not do something for his 40th. But I said the exact same thing last year about Donkey Kong, and they didn't do anything for Donkey Kong other than a tweet from Doug Bowser. So, like, I don't know. Just logically, you got a Mario movie coming out next year. Where's the Mario game? And maybe it's just Kart World, but there are other things they can do in the Mario universe. I have heard that, like, it seems likely that we're going to get some kind of a Camelot Mario sports title. That might be one of those games, David, where they announce it and it's like, hey, it'll be out this Christmas. But that's not going to move systems either. Interesting time for them. Also,
they're just gonna depend on Mario Kart for a little while. Like, I think the big stuff's coming next year.
Also, COD.
So
look, look, I mean, going back to my impressions of Split Fiction, like, the issue with COD is going to be optimization. Like, until you have SD cards that hold more than a terabyte out there, you're not going to get COD. Or if you're going to get COD, it's going to be a really scaled down COD.
This is germane. WWE 2K25 is 75 gigs on Switch 2, and it's a little over, I think it's like 100 some, less than 150, but over 100 gigs on PS5. And there's not, again, like, it does not feel compromised at all.
Yeah, it's that magic of DLSS, David, right? Like, you don't have to create 4K assets for it to super sample up to 4K. So it's an optimization of that. What I think is interesting about your data point, that's bigger than the biggest cartridge they offer. That game can't fit on a cartridge, to Ozzy's point. And, like, yeah, no fucking way can COD fit on a cartridge. Like, that ain't happening. I'm really curious, because if they can't ship that on COD, if Nintendo forces the divestiture of Activision Blizzard, put them in the Shacknews Hall of Fame again. Because that's just legendary shit. Because they have a ironclad agreement for 10 years of software support, of which we have received 0 so far. So where's COD?
They're gonna remake Call of Duty 4.
Watch them do that. We ported over the last Wii U version of COD that we found lying in a drawer. It's like they're gonna try to get away.
Call of Duty World at War remake.
It just seems like something changed at Microsoft, where last year they were like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to put everything on PlayStation and Switch. And now they're like, actually, on second thought, the cloud and Game Pass. And we're going to talk about the profitability of Game Pass without mentioning the cost of making first-party titles that release day one on Game Pass, because we're Microsoft. But, like, I just really want to know, like, what software support's coming. Tony Hawk was pretty good, but, like, what else you got? Microsoft, like, Grounded too? Avowed, right? Like, there's some games that are out right now that could be a Doom. There's games that are out right now that could be coming there. Didn't they bring Forza Horizon 5 to PlayStation recently?
It's doing really well on PlayStation.
Put it on Switch. Do you guys hate money? Like, what's going on?
I think we both know the answer to that.
They love money. To buy back shares. Not to hire people. Not to keep studios going. But yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe they could port some games over before they have to shut down those studios. That'd be cool. Revolutionary idea. But yeah, I think those are the things we're going to keep our eyes on. I wouldn't be surprised if between now... No, we'll probably... Here's what's going to happen. We'll record next week's episode, and then the next day, Nintendo will announce a direct for, like, Wednesday. So...
Yeah.
Because they love to do us dirty like that. So 2 weeks from now, we'll be reacting to a direct. I just feel like we're going to get a direct soon. And it's going to maybe answer some of these questions. Maybe. But yeah, I'm curious what people think, though, David. Like, is there an unannounced Nintendo game that's coming out before the end of the year? And I think that's the big question. It seems like they would have one.
It seems like they would have one, but it's not going to be anything on the caliber of like an A-tier game like a Mario or Zelda. That's a buildup of years.
Yeah. It's going to be like a, like a Nintendogs or Brain Age or,
another WarioWare, which if you need a tech demo, I mean, you always turn to Wario.
We buried that Pokemon Presents, but they didn't drop a game, right? Pokemon Friends, which is this.
Yes.
It's like a mobile but also Switch puzzle game. It's kind of in the Brain Age, Flash Focus kind of world, David. It's not terrible. It's free on mobile. So there was that, but yeah, and that launched like at the same time as the event. I know we shit on the Pokemon Presents a lot, but yeah, Pokemon Friends is out. You can go check that out.
We can't shit on it too much after giving us DJ Pikachu.
Like I said, it was in my opinion, it's the best Pokemon event I've ever seen. But I did not care about any of the news. Although ZA looks good. And that'll be the bundle for David, I think ZA is the game that's going to carry Nintendo this fall. Because it's on both systems. So like, you want to talk about a game that could sell 30 million units this year? ZA.
Yeah, and I think if you think back to 2017, even though Card 8 Deluxe was the best-selling game that year and every year since, they had a trifecta. They had Card 8, they had Breath of the Wild, and they had Mario Odyssey. So I think we're going to see that this year. We're not going to see all three of those A-tier games, but we're going to see Cart and like 2 or 3 other things that combined will really drive a lot of interest in the holidays.
Yeah.
I think it could be I think it could be Pokemon. I think it could be that and Metroid. Like that, those 2 games plus Cart, say.
Yeah, I think if you look at first party, the 3 pillars this year to compare to those 3 pillars from 17, it's Cart World, it's Donkey Kong, and it's Metroid. Mm-hmm. Like those are the big 3 this year.
Yeah.
And they're just not as big as the big 3 in that year you're talking about. That 2017 will prove to be one of the greatest years in the history of video games. Because it was just Nintendo with their back up against the wall. And like at a time when they most needed to do it, to execute flawlessly, they did. And some of their competitors simply don't. So we're gonna have to keep an eye out on I'm gonna keep an eye on the third party front. I think we need to talk about Shadow Labyrinth more on this show because it's a good game.
I'm excited to start it.
Yeah. And then I hope to not be on the first level of Donkey Kong next week.
Time will tell.
That's my favorite storyline so far is how far can you not get while still being all over that game?
Yeah, like I could tell you I really, really, really like this game. Like I think it's delightful. Like I don't know I'm playing it like I've played some other games. Like I mentioned Animal Crossing last week, but I think Red Faction is another one of them. Sometimes like the way I play City Skylines. Like I sometimes play these games not for what you can do like in the game, but more to try to break the game. And like I think part of what I'm doing here, I want to see it break. I want to soft lock myself on a level. Like I destroyed so much that I can't progress kind of thing. And I haven't gotten there. So I think that's really damn impressive that you can just destroy everything and you can still progress. Like I don't think that's going to be true in later levels, but I think it's pretty cool that you can do that on the first level. And yeah, like based on how much shit costs in that game, I think I'm doing the right thing. Trying to get as much gold as possible. I think that's really it though. That's what I wanted to mention. Not only is it like me weeding in Animal Crossing, this is like my obsession with turnips.
Oh yeah.
Completely different meta. Completely different meta. Right? It was more about storing the turnips on the island, right? And then finding the good sales price. That was a whole other meta. But there's a similar obsession with me trying to make number go up. When you give me number, I want big number. So I see that gold count, and I'm like, I want all the gold. And
you would have found a different way to play Cookie Clicker. You're that type of player.
Yeah, I am. I actually have a design document for a Cookie Clicker like that we just kind of left on the shelf. We built Bubbletron instead of it. But, I've seen early on when we shipped Shacknews Cortex, our user-generated gamified platform on Shacknews, it kind of was a clicker game. Because it was like, it rewarded people for viewing pages, for tagging people, for posting things, but like the people who became obsessed with it were the people who were obsessed with Cookie Clicker. So it's like I accidentally made a clicker game at one point, and then it became different. But yeah, I think I would find a new way to play a clicker game. Yeah, I guess that'll do it for this show. If you like this, we made it to the end of this show. Give us a little thumbs up and a subscribe and maybe a hit the bell kind of thing. We post a lot of video here at Shacknews. It's all great. If you like video games, we're the place to be. Also, Ozzy's crushing it with these live events. He was, like I mentioned, he was at the Warped Tour. Breaker.
Was it Comic-Con?
Weren't you at like a
Comic-Con without a badge?
Yeah, Ozzy was just in San Diego, just walking around.
Well, I was at San Diego because I was talking to Danny Koo from Marvel Games about Marvel Rivals. That interview is up on Shacknews. Go ahead and give it a read.
And Switch 2.
I definitely asked about Switch 2.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of content on all of our platforms, the website, all the video places, even Twitter sometimes. Occasionally a tweet. People will see our tweets sometimes. I'm being told. But yeah, those are the places to follow us and do the thing. Let us know if you have any questions about various games on the Switch 2. If you're on the fence about Switch 2, just let us know. Hit us up in the comments. And yeah, we're going to be posting more clips of this podcast. So if you found us through one of our clips, stick around. We'll be back next week to talk more about Switch 2. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.